Hello, it's Carol Gay. Faker how, sitting under my tree, looking like a gangsta on the 6th day of my water fast. And I've had an amazing day. I actually took a poop. I hadn't taken a poop in 5 days because I wasn't eating anything. I feel good, you know that I should, yeah. Been fasting all week. I feel a cleanse from my head to my feet. I'm the fasting gangsta. I have absolutely no ego boundaries. No, none. For the most part. I mean, sometimes I do, but when you're on the 6th day of a water fast, you're like, you don't give a about nothing. You just have peace like a river. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river in my soul. I got love like a fountain. I've got love like a fountain. I've got love like a fountain in my soul. I got joy like a river. I got joy like a river. I got joy like a river in my soul. I can eat some more though. It's been a good fast. I'm not going to break it on my 7th day. I'm going to break it. So I'm not going to break it on my 7th day at 3 o'clock when I started it at 3 p.m. Because I don't want to eat a bunch of food and then go to bed in 3 hours with all that food in me. So I'm taking the example of this guy named Brian Johnson that I follow on YouTube, who has a feeding window between 6 a.m. and 11 a.m. I have to be at work at 9 o'clock. That's going to work for me. I'll still have a couple hours to, have a snack after my feed before 11 o'clock at work. And I'm going to try it out. I planted a bunch of shit in the garden today. More cucumbers. I got a few things at Home Depot because they just look so good, They were heirlooms, maybe one hybrid, no GMO stuff. I got a beefsteak, tomato plant, and some mini cherry tomatoes, and some zucchini, and some squash, and some spaghetti squash, and 3 different types of thyme, 2 different peppers, jalapeno pepper, and a fire pepper, early fire or something. And I planted most of it. I planted some more lettuce, some purple lettuce, Davenport lettuce. It looks so good. Oh my gosh. I was just like, I'm planting all these veggies and I just want to eat them now. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Didn't leave the house today. Got my car on the side of the house. Been washing it slowly. I worked in the garden for 4 hours before noon. And I was like, I better get in the house. I'm getting pink and I don't want to burn myself out. And I made some pan forte. I took a bunch of nuts and dried fruit that I have and chopped it up, mixed it up with some goodies and baked it, and then put some chocolate on top. That's for my snack after I eat. I could take to work with me and have a healthy snack and not be tempted to eat shit. I've been pretty good working at this place for 3.5 years, not eating a bunch of shit, I do like pizza though, but I make a really good pizza. It's Simple Mills. Simple Mills. M-I-L-L-S. Simple Mills. It's not organic, but they make muffin. They're boxes. There's a box mix that's healthier. Doesn't have refined sugar or refined flour and stuff in it. And it's predominantly made from almond meal. And they have a pizza crust that's really super good. So I make a little pizza on that sometimes. My roommate said this is the best pizza I ever had, and he's like a pizza junkie. There's a convenience store out here called Wawa, and Wawa means geese or goose, and their symbol is like a red goose. And I remember when I first came to Delaware, and I was going out, and I asked the people I lived with, and the little girl goes, "Get me something at Wawa." And I walked in there, I went, "There's no food in here. This is all plastic." But they're now making pizza right now. It's not bad. They only have one kind. It's like pepperoni, cheese, pepperoni, cheese, sauce, I think, and sausage. But you have an option of putting garlic in it. Anyways, I'm really mellow. Don't have much to say. Don't want to talk a lot. I just wanted to say, hey, I'm on the 6th day of my fast. I made it, I'm gonna last. It's past 3 o'clock when I started 6 days ago. Oh, oh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I think this is like my 5th 7-day water fast that I've done in my lifetime. I did a 10-day fast once on the Master Cleanse. And if you are interested to know about a good fast, if you want to do a cleanse, but you might need a little bit more energy, some people call it the lemonade diet, but it's the Master Cleanse. And Burroughs, what was his first name? Something Burroughs, Burroughs, he like invented it or whatever, wrote a little book on it. So basically it's water with lemons in it, squeezed lemons in it, and then you use maple syrup. Because lemons have a lot of nutrients, have a lot of minerals, and maple syrup has a lot of minerals. And it gives you just a little bit of nutrients, just a little bit of energy without feeling shaky or your heart palpitations. Heart palpitations happen because your electrolytes are low, and your heart's the biggest muscle in your body, and you need all your, proper calcium and potassium, especially potassium and magnesium, manganese. You need all of your electrolytes, or you will feel shaky and lightheaded. So if you want to start fasting, look into it, move into it, step into it. Dr. Bragg, I actually was reading in his book, he created intermittent fasting. A window of time when you eat. It's kind of good because it's like a discipline. You know who I'm really into right now? I mentioned her the other day, but her name is Jessie, and then I can't pronounce her name. Her last name's French. It's like, and she is a biochemist. She was a biochemist, or she is a biochemist. I don't think she is a biochemist. She has a master's degree in biochemistry. She was working for this company, and I don't know what they do, but at one point they wanted her to test a glucose monitor, like wear it, and then it sends information to her phone where she could read it, and she was fascinated with it. And she's called the Glucose Goddess, and she has a pretty powerful testimony. She was 19, going out with some friends. They were all jumping off a waterfall, and I saw an interview with her and Tom Blue. It's Blyu, I think his name. He's an amazing interviewer, an amazing guy, and he was interviewing her. It was so amazing to listen to them talk. And she was telling a little bit of her testimony. When she was 19, she jumped off this waterfall. She said she was scared. She said she didn't want to do it. She said, but she wanted to be cool in front of her friends. Right? So, my course that I have uploaded to the internet, 19 videos I created last year with Tony Robbins and his academy for the knowledge-based revolution. It's called Tools to Help People with Crazy Off the Charts Feelings of Anxiety. I had to put the word feelings in there because anxiety is like a clinical diagnosis, you know, and I couldn't use the word just anxiety. Isn't that bullshit? So I had to put feelings of anxiety because I'm not qualified. I'm not qualified. A mental health practitioner. So I go over in there. Well, I don't go over in there, but God showed me there's 3 types of fear. There is the fear of that which harms the body, the fear of the reproach of man, and the fear of evil. They're all mentioned in the Bible 365 times. Not each, but together. It says, do not be afraid 365 times. Do not fear. Do not be afraid. It's a commandment. We're not supposed to be afraid. It's a choice. But if you feel stuck in it, you got to start fasting and self-reflecting and connecting with nature and drinking plenty of water. Those are my 4 pillars that I teach from in my course. So she was afraid. She said in this interview, the only reason why she wanted to jump off is because she wanted to be cool in front of her friends. Okay? And she must not have had a good bone structure. I know she had struggled with eating disorders and all kinds of stuff. And when she hit the water, it messed up her back, like kind of high up. 2 vertebrae. One of them just crumbled. And they had to airlift her. They had to take her to, I don't know where she was. Where'd she say she went? Anyway, she had to get, they took her to a hospital. And she literally said, they told her, do not move. If you move, you can be paralyzed. They had to fly someone in to do the surgery. And so she had to wait till the morning to do it. And she talks about laying on the bed and how she couldn't move. And she had the surgery and they put in like this, she showed a picture of it. I think I was reading her email because I signed up for her like email list. And she showed an x-ray of her spine where it was messed up from just hitting the water. She didn't hit any rocks. It just happened from the impact of hitting the water. She didn't say how far she was up. They like put these brackets like this over this metal piece and went like this over the top of her spine on both sides, or right next to the spine. And then there's this like mesh thing over the top of that area that was messed up. It's, like a mesh table with, 4 feet that just go right into her spine. And the reason why I'm talking about her testimony is I'm talking about her because she's influencing my life right now. And I'm encouraging people to fast and come out of fear and to recognize the 3 types of fear that exist, and all fears go into those categories. So mine was in the fear of that which harms the body. Most of my anxiety was like, when I had anxiety, my heart would race so fast, I thought I was going to die of a heart attack. I also had a fear of impending death. Like, basically, I could go around the corner and just die. But it wasn't like a constant thing. But when I recognized this stuff happening, that's when I started going into fasting and prayer and eating super, super healthy. Because at certain times, it would affect me. Maybe if I was hanging around somebody who had fear, or maybe if I was, eating a bunch of shit or something, or, stressed about something else, or overworked. I was working really hard when I lived in Kansas City. Me and my ex-husband had a cleaning business and a construction business. And I was younger then, so I could handle it, but I was starting to get really stressed because I didn't want to do this job anymore. And he was putting pressure on me. I wanted to go back into sales. He's like, no, you'll never do that again. I'm like, yeah, right? Well, he's not in the picture anymore, thank God. And I'm back in sales. But, anxiety is interesting, having a life of anxiety. It's just not constant anxiety. Well, for me it wasn't, but it was a lot. It was like sometimes seasons of anxiety where I'd wake up in the middle of the night, my heart would be racing. And but I realized there's 3 types of fear when I was reading the Bible. Bible. And I recognized that mine were kind of rooted in that, the fear of that which harms the body. And then the other one's the fear of the reproach of man. And that's what this girl's experiencing. She was afraid of other people thinking she wasn't cool. So she did something stupid that really affected her life at 19. She was 19 years old when it happened. She's better now. She's amazing. This glucose goddess. I'm learning from her. I am. Probably end up getting her books. She has 2 books. And you know, I'm really mellow, so it's because of my fast, I think. I don't know how I will be making videos. I'm usually not this mellow when I make a video. But I just am so chill right now. It's like I had like a bottle of wine or something. But for me, if I had a bottle of wine, I'd be like, probably couldn't stand up and have a dizzy head and want to go to bed and throw up. That's too much wine for me. But like how some people feel after they drink a little bit of wine or beer or smoke some pot. Just super mellow. I mean, seriously, I've like I said, I've dabbled in drugs before. I've tried cocaine, mushrooms, LSD, alcohol, and pot. And I smoked some hair opium one time on the way to Grateful Dead. It was like hash. I don't really remember how that was. I just remember I had a good time at the concert. It's always a good time with the Dead. So I am just so mellow right now. Like right in here, just so much peace. It's like a drug. And then, so the fear of that which harms the body, the fear of the reproach of man. Basically, you're afraid of what people say. If you're being yourself, if you're authentic, if you share what you believe, if you say, I like peanut butter ice cream versus mint chip ice cream. Like, who gives a fuck? That's what you like. That's who you are. And I think that's what we've done too much in America and in the world. People are betraying their own selves by letting people oppress them or being afraid of what people think if they're not just being themselves. I mean, if people don't realize that everybody is different and they have different likes and dislikes and different beliefs and different boundaries, different expectations, different morals, different ethics, different lifestyle, different diets, different cars we drive, different clothes we wear, different people we hang out with. If people don't realize that by now, they are such babies. It's time to grow up. It's time to be mature, adult human beings filled with love. But we got to break out of our patterns. We got to break out of our iniquity. We're shaped in iniquity. Psalms 139 says, I knew you before you were in your mother's womb. When you were shaped in iniquity. There's also 3 types of sin. Iniquity, transgressions, and sin. Body, soul, and spirit. We're a triune being. There's 3 parts to us. That's why if you really know yourself and you integrate yourself into wholeness through dealing with your inner child, that part that was fragmented off and hasn't matured because of trauma, because it didn't get the love it needed growing up, because children need so much love and nurturing and care. Every time they want to be held and they go like this, they need it. They need that love. If they don't get it, they get detachment disorder. They don't know how to transition between the two patterns of life, joy and rest, joy and rest. So they take pick-me-ups to get them into joy and energy, and then they take downers or eat a bunch of food and get a food coma, or be sex addicts or porn addicts, or some kind of coping mechanism to stimulate dopamine to transition into rest. Drinking wine every night before they go to bed, just taking sleeping pills. I really believe the root of a lot of our issues is fear and not knowing ourselves. We betray ourselves. We're not being true to ourselves because we give too much importance to what other people think, too much importance of what people think about us. There's only one person you need to be concerned about who thinks about you, and that's God. Even your own spouse or your family. It doesn't matter if they don't understand you. If people aren't of a spirit of understanding, if they don't want to understand you and take the time to understand, in the Hebrew, like the Jewish word for understanding, is you stand under until you know, until you get it. You pay attention to that person, you listen to them until you understand, And you have to have patience. Just a little patience, I want patience. 'Cause I've been walking the streets all night, just trying to get it right. But I need you, oh, I need you, oh, I need you. Sweet child of mine. I love that song. That's one of my favorite rock and roll songs. When I was 18 years old, it was like on MTV every hour on the hour. I would run to the TV and turn it on and be like, sweet. I felt like God speaking to me, I felt like God speaking to me doing that song. It was endearing. It still is. It's hard to play on guitar. I want to learn it, sing it, feel it, be it. Yeah, we need patience. Patience with ourselves, first of all. Fasting helps you do that. All right, it's time for me to get off of this video. I've had a wonderful day. And it's the 6th day of the 7-day water fast that I've embarked on. And I feel victorious. I love food and I get excited about creating food. But I haven't had any cravings. I'm not even hungry. But I am going to break my fast Wednesday morning. Because I don't want to do it Thursday at 3 p.m. when I started my fast 7 days ago. Or 6 days ago today, 7 days ago tomorrow. So I'm going to carry it from 3, another 12 hours to 3 a.m. And then I'm going to wake up at like 6. I think I might prepare my food the night evening before. So I can just get up, get out my trough and be like, drooling, eating my veggies. I'm going to do zucchini spirals and then put it in a salad with some greens and just tons of broccoli. And I just want to eat everything. I just want to eat chopped celery and carrots. I'm going to make a big, awesome salad. And then I'm going to have a little bit of protein afterwards if there's any room in my stomach. Oh, 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 oh. I saw this beautiful butterfly today, monarch butterfly in the garden. It's amazing. I guess it's still spring, but summer's right around the corner. In a couple months, I'm going to have so many veggies in my garden. All right. Well, I just want to say, hey, I appreciate you watching this video. If you just randomly picked this video, there was 5 more prior to it. And it's me giving an update every day. Yeah. I gotta tickle my throat. I've been talking too much. But if you just happened upon this video and you like anything you've heard, or you've been encouraged or entertained, I am a Gemini with 5 Virgos, and my rising is Scorpio. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel and leave a comment. Don't be scared. Ask me a question. But don't be mean, or I will block you. I'm like not gonna have any tolerance with people that are dickheads or bitches on the internet. If they have the attitude, if they have those types of attitudes, block, block, block. And that's what my coach told me, that I was coached with Tony Robbins, and she's amazing. She had a lot of transformation. She's helping people all over the world step into their destiny, step into their, knowledge-based revolution of being a life coach, a thought leader, teachers, sharing their testimonies, their lives, what they've learned, what they've accumulated in knowledge-based industry. She said, if there's anybody on your Facebook or anybody that's following you and you don't feel comfortable with that, block them, block them, block them. There's just too many people out there. So if you don't like me, just don't look at me. If you don't like me, think about yourself. Because self-hatred is the root of why you hate people or hate anybody. And if you're struggling with hating anybody for any reason, you just got to go deeper. Yeah, there could be valid reasons why you hate that person. But you really can't hate them. You can hate what they do. You can hate how they treat you, or you can hate the way they make you feel. You can hate the way they smell. You can hate the way they dress. But don't hate them. Don't hate them. The only thing people want is kindness, and I ain't gonna tolerate any bullshit on my YouTube channel from anybody. So if you don't like me, you can go your own way. Go your own way. You can call it another lonely day. Another lonely day. Just go deal with yourself, okay? And know that you are loved. You are loved. You are unconditionally loved, whether you feel it or not. And if you don't feel it, you got to get into the feelings of it. You got to find it. And that's what fasting is all about. Finding yourself. Finding love. Finding God. Whatever that is. Whatever you think it is, or whatever you know it is, or whatever you don't know it is. But God is very vast. All right. Have a great day. Bye.